This is Dr. Bev Knox, and you are listening to my psychology tutorials. Learn psychology while you sleep. As we take a look into the problems experienced by society as a result of the use of psychoactive drugs, we need to consider two broad categories. The first category is the problems directly related to actually taking the drug, such as the risk of developing dependence or of overdosing. Second, because the use of certain drugs is considered a deviant act, the continued use of those drugs by some individuals represents a different set of social problems, apart from the direct dangers of the drug themselves. These problems include arrests, fines, jailing, and the expenses associated with efforts to prevent misuse and to treat abuse and dependence. There are reasonable concerns about the toxic level and habit-forming nature of some drugs, and even the criminality of some drug users. But the drugs that have been singled out for special controls, such as heroin, cocaine, and pot, are not unique to their association or level of toxicity. Once a substance is regulated in any way, those regulations will be broken by some. This produces enormous social conflict and results in many problems for society. From underage drinking to injecting heroin, from internet sales of prescription narcotics to date rape drugs, the conflict resulting from particular kinds of drug use lead to additional costs to American society, such as police, courts, prisons, and treatment options. Our current laws do not represent a rationally diverse plan to counteract the most realistic of these concerns in the most effective manner. In fact, most legislation is passed in an atmosphere of emotionality in response to a specific set of concerns. Often, the problems have been there for a very long time, but public attention and concern have been recently aroused, and Congress must respond. Sometimes members of Congress or government officials play a major role in calling public attention to the problem for which they offer the solution. The idea that opioid drugs or pot use can produce violent criminality in their users is an old and largely discredited idea. Opioid users seem to engage in crimes mainly to obtain money, not because they are made more criminal by the drugs they take. There are more than 1.5 million arrests each year in the United States for drug law violations. Laws that have been developed to control drug use have a legitimate social purpose, which is to protect society from the dangers caused by some types of drug use. Whether these dangers have always been viewed rationally and whether the laws have had their intended results can be better judged after we have learned more about the drugs and the history of their regulations.